Were you managing Sid at the time that he had that incident with Arn Anderson?
Yes. Yes, I was. And now, guys that know me, they laugh about this, but they laugh about it today. That when I go to work for a company and they do overseas stuff, England, France, Britain, Germany, whatever it is, and they say, you got a passport? And I say, nope. We're going to need to get one. Nope. So what do you mean nope? I say, well, because I don't go. Oh, you don't go other countries? No. and that's it. Bottom line, don't go. So don't go. So they went to France, Germany, and Britain. And they went without me. And Sid went without me. And I'll just tell you the straight up truth. It wouldn't be any good if it didn't. Sid was doing his steroids. Gosh, did he look good. Man, I mean, he was lit, man. And when he went, he knew that he wasn't going to be able to take his steroids along. So I knew that he took an awful lot of stuff ongoing. So the first night that they're there, he is really, he's ready to explode. And now this is what I hear. You know, it's a hearsay, but I'm sure I got the story because I was his man. Had I have been there with him, it would not have happened because I knew Sid and I knew the possibilities and I could get ahead of the game and make sure that those things didn't happen. And I think he would back me up on that if he was here today. But I wasn't there with him, and he was on his own. And he got in a confrontation in a bar with Arn Anderson and Steve Austin and somebody else. I don't know what it was, but he wound up Arn insulting Arn. And he insulted Steve, and all the stuff. And they just kind of tried to laugh it off, and it went on, and Arn threw a drink at him. And the altercation ensued there, and here come the agents and everybody, and they just closed the bar. They said, all of the guys are to go back to the room and get out of here. That's the end of that. And so they go back to their rooms, and Arn goes in there and he's trimming up his beard and working on his beard. We got a little pair of scissors, and Sid goes back to his room and tears up a chair. Takes a leg off the chair and goes down to Arn's room, and Arn is trimming it, and he hears a knock at the door. He goes to the door, a little hole. It's Sid, and Sid says, "Arn, let's go to bed on better terms tonight. That we're on a long trip here, all of us together. Open up the door, shake hands. Oh, it'll be all right." So Arn does, and Sid, boom, hits him with the thing. Now I know you probably talked to Sid. I don't know if you got this same story or anything like it. I don't know. This is the story that I got from my buddies, my guys that were there, and also my guy that I took over then, Steve Austin, in which he and I went up and down the road all over WCW for well over a year before he left to go to New York and do Stone Cold. So I had heard this stuff, and that then Arn take the bump back in the floor and Sid jumping on top and meaning to take the leg from the chair and beat his brains out, and Arn stuck the scissors in him, and then Sid selling the scissors, and the fight starts again, and the scissors go over there, and they fight over the scissors, and Sid gets the scissors, and Arn takes off for the elevator down the hall. He makes it to the elevator, but it's one of them deals. Oh my God, give me the elevator, but it don't come quick enough, and Sid catches him there at the elevator and stabs him 28, 30 times with meaning, I think, from what I hear, to kill him. Very bad.
Sid even had actually admitted that part to us, that he was out of control at that point.
You know, the steroids, they do something to you, and you just don't know what you're capable of. And it was one of those deals that happened there, and I'm sure, I bet if Sid sitting here right now, sitting next to me, he'd say, "God dog, I regret that." I feel like he'd just be dead, just bad behavior, and nobody's supposed to have bad behavior and get away with it. And he didn't, because he came back, and I went to the show. The first show that I made, it was here at Bayfront in St. Petersburg, and I see Dustin Rhodes, and I say, "Hey, have you seen Sid?" And he says, "What?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, that no good SB." And I said, "What is it? I hadn't heard anything. I hadn't heard anything about it." He said, "Oh, you didn't hear?" And he told me the story. Then I went around, I heard the deal of all the guys and everything, and then I'm standing around and I'm thinking, does this mean I'm finished? I was, because I had nobody to manage. I was there, but my man was fired. Boy, Eric Bischoff came to me and he said, "Hey," he said, "you're not planning on leaving." Boy, and I was the happiest guy you ever saw in your life. I said, "No, I'm not planning on going anywhere. Whatever you guys have in mind." He said, "Oh, man, you're on a roll." "No, God, tell me you're not going anywhere." And I said, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Sorry to hear about Sid, but that's life. That's the way it is." But I felt like, if I'd have been there, that I would have seen all that going down and been able to say, "Yeah, Sid, no, let's go. Let's do this. There's another bar down the street. We'll go someplace and get away from this. Tomorrow's a new day. It'll all be blown away." And instead, it wound up in almost murder. So that's the business, man.
Either of them could have actually been murdered at one point, because it was Arn that first stabbed him too. So
yeah, he did.
How no one got arrested?
He was fighting for his life. He knew that this guy has swerved me, conned me into opening up the door with intentions of beating my brains out with a leg off a chair out of his room. It's a horrible situation to be in. Good gosh almighty. And with a guy as strong as Sid and in good shape as Sid, that I wouldn't have wanted to be on the bad end of that one.
And apparently Bill Dundee was the agent, and he told us he could hear it from his room, but he didn't want to go out.
No, that's not the type of thing you want to go out and run into. Me, I'd be sitting around there, I'll see two guys fighting like that. Whew. And I've been, as the boss, I've had guys look at me and say, "What are you going to do?" Because I've been that sort of thing. And I say, "Hey boys, that's concrete you're on." They say, "Is that all you're going to do?" I said, Yeah, that's it. It's not my fight. And eventually they'll blow up, get gassed, and then we'll get a couple of guys and we'll pull them apart. But right now is not a good time. So I wouldn't want to be there for that.
Yeah, and Sid also had a lot of heat against him too, because a lot of guys were jealous of the push he was getting, I guess. And
because his work wasn't quite up to par, but his ability to fill up the house, sell the tickets, they didn't have anybody better. So there you are. You take it as it is. You got a guy that sells the tickets. That means when your pay comes in, it's going to be higher because more people are buying, right? So I say, why don't y'all get along?